Good evening, Wolfpack, and welcome to your first math lesson at home. Today's homework is for Monday night, and it's lesson 8.9, and it is about flips, slides, and turns. So let's just go ahead and get started. First, we're going to just do a basic review of some of the polygons that you already know. So if you know the name of the shape, I want you to say it at home. This shape right here, if you know the name of it, say it at home. Hopefully you said triangle. The next shape, this shape, could be many different things, but it is a quadrilateral. You could have also said square or rhombus. This shape right here, think about how many sides it has. Hopefully you said pentagon. This shape right here, octagon because it has 8 sides. And the last shape, hexagon. Remember, hex means 6. Okay, let's take a look at what flips, slides, and turns are. We're going to start with the easiest of the 3. So we have flips, slides, and turns, and the first one we're going to look at is a slide. So you may remember this from last year, if you talked about it last year, but a slide in geometry is when you take a shape and you just slide it in one direction. You can slide it up, you can slide it down, you can slide it to the right, to the left, diagonally. The shape doesn't change at all, it just scoots one way or another. So watch as this shape is slided or slides over. And that's slide. The next move we're going to learn is called a flip. Now the flip is a little bit trickier. There are 2 different ways that you can do a flip. You can do a flip over a vertical line, or you can do a flip over a horizontal line. This flip is going to demonstrate a flip over a vertical line. So you're going to see this triangle and it's going to flip on the other side of this line. So take a look at this flip showing the shape being turned over. Okay, let's see that again. Okay, so it started out over here and it looked like this. And then when I hit play, the shape flipped over the line, and so it almost looks like a reflection of that shape. Okay, the next move is called a turn. Okay, I want you to watch this turn. It's a lot different than the slide and the flip. The turn starts with an object in one place, and then part of it stays put, and the rest of it turns or rotates. So I want you to watch what happens. Okay, so it's the same shape. The corner stayed in one spot, and the rest of it rotated while that corner stayed put. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is take a little bit of a closer look at all 3 moves, again, just as a review. So let's take a look again at the slide. Now remember, a slide is when you move an object without rotating or without flipping it. The object looks exactly the same, it's just in a different place. So these are some examples of some slides. If this is our first image, we can take that image and we can slide it to the right. It looks exactly the same, but it's just slid over to the right. We can also take this image and we can slide it down. So there's 2 different ways I'm showing that you can make a slide. You could also slide it this way. Let's see if I can show you that. I can slide it this way. A slide doesn't just have to be straight up and down or sideways. It can be diagonally too. Okay? If I start with my image over here, I can slide it to the left. And it looks exactly the same. Okay? It's just scooted over to the left. Okay, the next move was flip. Remember, there are different ways to do a flip also. So let's just say I have the letter F right here. And I want to flip the F over. Let's say I want to flip it over this line. I'm going to take this F and I'm going to flip it like that. So if I flip it, it's going to look like the mirror image of an F. It's going to look like that. I can flip it again over this line, and it'll look like this. Okay? Now remember, I can flip it over a vertical line. These are my vertical lines. I'm flipping it over. Or I can flip it over a horizontal line. So let's take this F, and let's flip it over a horizontal line. So if I take this F, and I flip it down like this, it's going to look like this. Okay? So two different examples of how you can flip over a vertical line or over a horizontal line. Some more examples of flips. This flip is a B flipping over a vertical line, and this one is a P flipping over a horizontal line. And I just showed you some practice with the F flipping over vertical and horizontal lines, so we'll skip this slide. Okay, we'll take a look at if I flipped this arrow. Or actually, we're back to slide practice. If we want to slide this arrow over, it's going to look like this. I can slide it over again, and it'll look like that. And if I slide it down, it's not a flip. If I slide it down, it just looks like that. Okay? Okay, let's take a look at some turns now. If I have a T going straight up, I can keep the bottom in the same spot, and I can turn my T to the right. If I have an E like this, I can turn it to the left. If I had a triangle, I could keep this corner in one place, and I could rotate it like this. I just took my triangle and I rotated or turned it this way. I could keep turning it this way. Okay, so some turn practice. If I take this arrow and I turn it, it's going to look like this. Okay? And if I take this arrow and I turn it again, it's going to look like this. So I just took it and went from it facing up, and I turned it to the side, and then I turned it down again. I could keep turning it all the way back until it gets to its original position if I wanted. This is something that we'll do in class tomorrow, so be ready to practice flip, slides, and turns tomorrow. Also, if you feel like you know flip, slides, and turns pretty well, go on IXL tonight and try some practice. If you go to the 3rd grade, you can go to the 2nd grade section, and it says flips, turns, and slides. You might also look in the 3rd grade section too. Okay, I hope you got the material, and we'll see how you did. Tomorrow we'll do some practice.